Insect. Felix Pitts, you LeBrontards, you just don't stop. I love it though. You keep challenging me and challenging me. And I've heard these arguments before, okay? It's like almost like a muscle reflex. I just know what to say. I know what to say in response to these ridiculous things you keep saying. Okay, now you bring up Jordan benefiting from the three-point line in the mid-'90s. And, you know, I guess you're trying to say that's something the league did to benefit Michael. Which is, number one, ridiculous because Michael wasn't a three-point shooter. And I'll get to that in a moment. But anyway, you look back at the three-point leaders, 95-96 season, right? And you look at 96-97 too. But I'm going to focus on 95-96, Felix Pitts. Michael was 11th in three-point shooter that year. Now, all of us know that actually watched basketball back then, Mr. Pitts. I don't know about you. You probably were shitting in your Pampers at that time, but I actually was watching basketball then. And we all know that Michael was an improved three-point shooter when he came back. All right? Now was he Stephen Curry? No. But he was a much improved three-point shooter. Another way that he had improved is, I remember what was different from, this is my opinion, he was a much better stand-still three-point shooter when he came back as opposed to earlier in his career. Earlier in his career, he was better shooting threes on the move. Not to say he can't hit them like, set, but, he was better shooting on the move. I also remember him being for some reason, he shot threes from the corners better when he came back as opposed to his retirement or when he retired the first time. That's just my opinion, okay? But getting back to the statistical information, it's interesting that in the 95-96 season, right, Jordan finished ahead percentage-wise of all-time great three-point shooters such as Glenn Rice, Dennis Scott, and Dale Ellis. Right? That's interesting because you would think that these guys who generally shot 42, 41%, with the line pushed up, well, they should be in the mid to upper 40s shooting threes, right? But they weren't. Now, why is this? It's probably because these guys were used to shooting threes from 23-9 out for years. Now, all of a sudden, the line was pushed in, and you would think that they would shoot better, but anybody that shoots the basketball know that with shooting the basketball has to do a lot with muscle memory. And the further you was going in, 22, 21, 20, 19, now you're getting into mid-range. And this is the point I want to bring up, is that you stepped on a landmine, my friend. Michael Jordan is one of the greatest mid-range shooters of all time. LeBron James, on the other hand, is not, which is why any team that plays LeBron James or any team that employs LeBron James has to have a stretch four to make up for his anemic jump shot. Our power forward couldn't score a lick, but it didn't matter because we had mid-range Jordan, didn't it? This so-called GOAT of yours. And also, let me slam the door on this bullshit that you call a challenge to apocalypse. Michael Jordan never relied on three-point shooting. That wasn't a big staple of his game. He received a far fewer percentage of his points, or he received a far fewer percentage of his points in his career than a LeBron, than a Kobe, than a Stephen Curry by far. So even though they did do this, push the line in, this was because of the fact that defense was becoming intense in the NBA. All right? The trend then was on defense. Players pride themselves on defense. We started having a lot of teams slowing the basketball down and we got into these half-court defensive battles. Okay? Those are the type of games they had. The league became concerned about that, and that's why they pushed the three in. It had nothing to do with the three in. That had nothing to do with Michael Jordan, who wasn't even playing basketball to start the 94-95 season. So this is why these arguments are ridiculous. Hashtag kiss my ass. Hashtag Sewell is GOAT. Hashtag I'm 100 and maybe 1, maybe 2. But I generally defeat all of you, okay? Stop coming at me with these weak-ass arguments. I've been doing this since 2006, all right? Do you know who I've learned from over the years? Do you know who knowledge I've ciphered off of and been under the tutelage of? Bruce Blitz, all right? You got Basketball Breakdown. I've listened to all these guys for years. Stop coming to me with this weak shit, y'all. You gotta do better than this. Hashtag Jordan GOAT. Hashtag LeBron blows finals yet again. Hashtag 3-5. Hashtag 6 for 6. GOAT. Peace.